Alright guys, welcome to my simple everyday makeup tutorial. Here's some Fenty Foundation. This is probably my second favorite foundation. I'm using just a regular flat brush to put this on. There's no technique, I'm just kind of putting it in places I feel like it needs to go. Yeah. This is color 490 and the Pro Filter. Next, after I do my foundation, we're going to use this itty bitty little eyebrow pencil. I believe it's Rimmel. It's honestly from Walmart. Those drugstore brands be coming through, y'all. Like, do not hate. I promise you, this is probably one of the best eyebrow pencils I've come across. And I kind of just go back and forth. Like, there's no, again, I just have over the years figured out what works for me when I'm doing my eyebrows, so I kind of sketch them in, get the shape that I like, and then once I'm done that, you'll see I'll move on to outlining them with some concealer. But yeah, one thing about eyebrows is that I've learned, as we all have, I'm sure, that they are not twins, they are sisters. Sometimes mine are neighbors, you know, it just really depends on the day. So for my concealer, I really like the MAC NW45. I usually start pumping some onto the back of my hand. That little angle brush that everyone has, that works really well. So yeah, we're gonna put some of that underneath. Give it a little highlight. Not highlight, but y'all know. You know what I mean. So even if your eyebrows are more neighbors than they are friends, or sisters rather, this is where we kind of, you know, bring them closer. We can kind of bridge that gap, if you will, and kind of, you know, shape them a little bit. And we all know this, turn them into sisters in the very least, if we can't get them twinning. Can't forget the nose. Alright, so after I'm done putting in my concealer, I take a beauty blender. Please do not mind, it's kind of dirty, you know, not dirty, but you know, it's had a couple of usages since its last wash. And so usually I just start under my eyes with the concealer and dab, dab, dab. Try to get that completely under there. Do not mind that weird face. I actually used to use a brush to blend all this in, and I've recently gone back to a beauty blender just because I find that sometimes you can get a really nice seamless blend look, a nice seamless blending technique, even though I don't have technique. Gotta get that chin. One thing I will say though is I find that the beauty blender is a lot more work. I don't know if it's just got the dabbing motion. I don't know, y'all feel me on this one or not? I feel like brushes are so much easier to maneuver when it comes to blending in my concealer. I also like to get my eyelids because I feel like, why not? Hey, when you're not formally trained in makeup, guess what? You can do whatever you want. Ain't no rules in this biatch. Okay. Not trying to say biatch because let's face it, that's very outdated. Okay, yeah, that angle brush again that we used earlier. This one's from Sephora. It's just their branded Sephora brushes. But I like it. I feel like it gets the job done. So yeah, here is a little Here's a little fluffy brush. I don't know what to call it. I don't know my brushes like that. But it gets the job done when I'm ready to put on, or rather take off, some of that excess eyebrow pencil. I really don't like that blocky look anymore, I should say, because let's be real, when people started first drawing in their eyebrows, that was the look. I use this brush to kind of take some of that excess away, and then I dip it into my MAC, I think it's Studio Fix Powder foundation. I'll link it down below. And I just kind of dab. It's the same foundation that I'm going to use later on to set and to blend everything together. But I just kind of take that to the front end of my brows, and it just creates a really nice, I won't say ombre, but I think an easier transition, a more natural transition. And I kind of just do that until I'm satisfied. I'll put that underneath my brow, above, just again to make sure that I'm not walking around with halo brows. Okay, so I'm going to use my fluffier, bigger brush in that same powder I used on my eyebrows, and this is what I use to set my foundation and my concealer on a day that I'm not going out. Like I said, this is a simple everyday makeup routine. So I'm not really going to heavily set with any setting powder. I find this powder works really well. It keeps me matted for most of the day, and I think it really ties everything together. And as you can see, I love it. I use lots of the powder all over. Blend, blend, blend. This is probably the funnest part of my makeup routine because it just feels so nice and relaxing. Some more powder. Oh yeah, don't forget to get your neck, girls. That neckline, that jawline, everything has got to be fused together. You don't want to be walking around looking, oh, I don't know what we would be looking like, maybe crazy, but yeah, so you got to get the neck. So here is the Laura Mercier powder. Oh, I don't know what it is. It's like a highlight. Again, it'll be linked below. And it's a very subtle glow, subtle shimmer. I like highlight on other people, but on me, I like it to be really subtle. So I kind of start with that. Just to kind of, do its job, highlight. Again, no formal makeup training, so this is just gonna go wherever I decide it goes. Okay. Alright, so here is the MAC Format Bronzer. Normally, I feel like with my complexion, bronzer doesn't really do much for me, but this works as a highlight as well. It gives me a really nice copper color on my cheeks. So I add that on top of the Laura Mercier Glow Powder. But yeah, this is also a really fun part of my makeup routine because I feel like it's just, it's that little something that you can kind of look forward to at the end. Oh, Huda Beauty, girl, you are just everything, So this is probably one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. As you can see, it is very well loved. So going back to that brush that we introduced earlier that I was using for my eyebrows, we're gonna use that again for the eyeshadow because I like it. It's a good brush. It's been through some hard times. I'm a big fan of any kind of reddish, copper, pinky colors to go under my eyebrow. This is probably like my uniform look. If you see me on a regular basis, this is what my face looks like. This is what I will have underneath my brow. I love eyeshadow, but I'm not a big user of eyeshadow in terms of on my actual eyelids. So when you see it, it's usually under my brow. Same brush, y'all. And we're just gonna put some more on, apparently. You can't see it. I don't know why I thought it was gonna show, but it's one of those palettes, one of those colors. Yeah, I don't know either. So that's gonna go on my lid. It's just a very neutral, beigey color. And I feel like it just makes my eyelid pop. I know I just said I don't put eyeshadow on my lid. I guess I should say I don't put extreme colors on my lid on a regular basis. But these neutrals, I feel like just give me an extra, you know, a little something. This is the e.l.f. liquid eyeliner. I'm super new to the eyeliner game, y'all, so please bear with me. Baby steps. But I typically just put it in the corner of my eyelid. That's pretty much it. I'm not even going to attempt a wing liner because I do not want to fail on camera. That would be devastating. So we're just gonna put a little bit, you know, just on top. Just enough to make a difference. So this is just a regular drugstore mascara. I think it's also Rimmel. Usually if I buy drugstore products that are eye related, it's usually going to be Rimmel. I find that they're pretty reliable, good product, good quality product. So I actually use the Rimmel mascara, use it on my eyebrows. I just find it gives a much natural look. So now we're going to move on to lashes. So these are just really simple lashes, as you can see, nothing too glamorous going on. Don't judge me, y'all. I be using hair glue for my lashes. I go back and forth sometimes between hair glue and eyelash glue. I just find that hair glue doesn't sting. It gets the job done, super easy to take off. I feel like eyelash glue, traditional eyelash glue, typically stings, and it also is harder for me to get off. So it seems like a no-brainer. Don't judge me. Oh yeah, I don't use tweezers. I just use my fingers. This is how I learned. This is what I stick to, y'all. Maybe it'll change. Hey, get it, girl. That's when you're like pretty much done your makeup. So we're pretty much looking, you know, we're almost done. Just gotta apply something on my lips. And since it's an everyday makeup routine, we're gonna keep it real simple. I like to start with just a brown, you know, a brown liner. Don't judge me, this is not a lip liner. If you remember, this is the same Rimmel Brow Pencil that I was using on my eyebrows. Girls gotta get resourceful sometimes. But I also really just like this brown hue. I feel like it gives me a really natural outline on my lips. Blend that in, and then I apply a MAC lipstick, Persistent. It's a really nice neutral color for me. I like to just put that on my bottom lip and then mix a tiny bit into my top lip. I prefer to keep my top lip a bit darker with that liner. And then favorite part, this is the Fenty lip gloss. I forget which one, but again, I will link it down below. I tried to show y'all, I don't know why, you can't see it. Shout out to my iPhone 8. But this is definitely my favorite lip gloss. Rihanna, girl, thank you. Alright, and that's it. That is my everyday face. Simple, takes me less than 20 minutes. Of course, a little bit longer today because I decided to film. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. Leave any tips. I'm super new to this. Still learning, you know. Help a girl out. Thanks for watching. Bye.